As Aboriginal people, we hold sacred the rights of the individual and the collective. We have respect for each other, for the land, and for the animal and plant life that surrounds us. We are people who honor and respect the family, our elders who hold the key to the past, and our children who are our future. Guided by our spiritual values, we aspire to attain our highest potential. Working together, Métis Nation of Ontario citizens in 2014 and 2015 made progress in all of the objectives described in our Statement of Prime Purpose. In 2014, a new MNO Ontario Framework Agreement was signed. It builds on the successes of the first agreement signed in 2008, which was a linchpin in our relationship with Ontario. Like the original agreement, it will strengthen the MNO, recognize and promote Métis history and culture, and enhance the well-being of Métis individuals, families, and communities. The new agreement places an added emphasis on Métis rights, as Ontario is now committed to jointly pursue negotiations with the federal government to address outstanding Métis rights and claims issues. The new agreement also places increased emphasis on supporting Métis children and youth. Along with the new framework agreement, the new relationship fund also continues to be a pillar in the assertion of Métis rights. In addition, the MNO ensured the voice of Ontario Métis was heard on important Métis rights cases, including Daniels v. Canada and the Treaty 3 Supreme Court appeal. The MNO also met with a special federal representative on the specific claims process. We were assured the MNO will be included within Ontario's Treaty and Aboriginal Rights Strategy and completed the groundbreaking historic research report on the Mattawa-Nipissing region. In 2012, President Lipinski challenged all MNO citizens to consider how they can encourage Métis children and youth to take advantage of every opportunity and become all they can be. This year, MNO citizens continue to respond very positively to the President's challenge, and we have seen increasing numbers of youth become more and more involved with the MNO. In 2014 and 2015, 28 Infinite Reach facilitators were trained, and the 2015 March Break Camp was the largest ever, with 30 students attending from across Ontario. The MNO Canoe Expedition was an amazing success. Even after completing their 2,000-kilometer trek across Ontario, our young voyageurs continued to be a source of pride for all Métis as they received the Lieutenant Governor's Ontario Heritage Award, and when they spoke to an audience of 15,000 young people at National We Day in Ottawa. The future of our young people is all the more promising because the strides the MNO has been making towards economic self-sufficiency. In 2013, the MNO passed its first law, the MNO Advancing Prosperity and Economic Self-Sufficiency Law. In 2014, the MNO took a major step towards realizing the goals of that legislation by creating Infinity Investments Limited Partnership. It is an independent and arm's-length corporation that will pursue business and economic development opportunities on behalf of Ontario Métis. The MNO enjoys a strong reputation as a leader and a strong partner that follows best practices in the field of Aboriginal healing and wellness. Three key areas where the MNO led the way this last year were in the development of provincial Aboriginal children and youth strategy, continuing our groundbreaking research on chronic diseases within the Ontario Métis population, and taking action on the critical issue of missing and murdered Aboriginal women. At the 2014 Annual General Assembly, the Declaration to End Violence Against Aboriginal Women was passed along with a resolution calling for a national inquiry on the epidemic of murdered and missing Aboriginal women. President Lipinski wrote the Prime Minister in support of the resolution, and the MNO has initiated a victim services program to provide resources and support to help communities address the issue of violence against women. A strong indicator of the MNO's leadership in the healing and wellness field was on full display in February 2015 when over 200 health researchers and other professionals from 42 different agencies gathered in Toronto for the MNO Health Summit. Delegates represented nonprofit organizations dedicated to disease prevention and cures, including hospitals, government ministries, agencies, universities, and colleges. These were represented by medical doctors, university professors, researchers, government policymakers, and elected officials. In 2008, the MNO had a total accumulated debt of $4.2 million. Each year since then, we have all worked together to reduce that debt, and in March 2015, that debt had been reduced to $731,000. This is a reduction of over 82%. Our continued good fiscal management resulted in our auditors removing the qualification of emphasis of matter from our 2013-2014 audit. Considering the incredible contributions of all our volunteer leaders and citizens, it is very appropriate that in April 2014, all our MNO volunteers were acknowledged with the June Callwood Outstanding Achievement Award for Volunteerism. The award recognized MNO citizens, past and present, who demonstrated exceptional leadership, creativity, and innovation in the service of our communities and to the whole of Ontario. As this award and these highlights demonstrate, MNO citizens continue in the footsteps of our founders and early leaders who drafted the Statement of Prime Purpose. With ever-increasing attention from governments at all levels, industry proponents, and the public, there may never be a better time to capitalize on the gains made to date. We aspire to attain our highest potential is a worthy goal that all MNO citizens can embrace. The MNO is Métis self-government in action. The dynamic leadership of the MNO works to achieve the objectives of the Statement of Prime Purpose and to address issues and concerns related to MNO citizens on as many fronts as possible. The MNO is governed by the Provincial Council of the Métis Nation of Ontario, or PCMNO. The structure of the PCMNO ensures that community and regional interests are represented as well as other demographic segments like youth, women, and seniors. The presence of our revered elders, the MNO senators, at community events and meetings help keep Métis culture alive. They share their wisdom as well as Métis traditions and the way of life with our children. The Women's Secretariat of the Métis Nation of Ontario advocates for Métis women and advises the PCMNO on matters and issues of specific concern to women. The MNO Veterans Council represents the interests of MNO veterans, bringing together MNO citizens who have served in Canada's armed forces. The Captains of the Hunt play an integral role in the management of the Métis harvest in Ontario. They are the direct line of communication between harvesters, the MNO, and the Ministry of Natural Resources. The Métis Nation of Ontario Youth Council identifies issues impacting Métis youth and work to ensure these issues are addressed. MNO citizens volunteer thousands of hours every year to support the work of our 29 chartered MNO community councils. Composed entirely of volunteers, the members of these councils play a crucial role in the fight for Métis rights and in promoting Métis cultures and traditions. To carry out the work outlined in the Statement of Prime Purpose, the MNO established a province-wide infrastructure to deliver and manage programs and services for Métis people in Ontario. Directed through 7 branches, the MNO employs 178 people located in 21 offices across Ontario. Bancroft, Brampton, Dryden, Fort Frances, Hamilton, Innisfil, Kenora, Kingston, Midland, North Bay, Oshawa, Ottawa, Owen Sound, Renfrew, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Timmins, Thunder Bay, Toronto, Welland, Windsor. The MNO Healing and Wellness Branch delivers programs and services to Métis communities that are culturally grounded, holistic in nature, client-centered, and family-focused. In February 2015, the MNO signed Memorandums of Understanding with Cancer Care Ontario and the Institute for Clinical Evaluative Sciences, both of which are key MNO partners in important Métis health projects. Healing and Wellness Program revenues increased from $7.5 million in 2012 to $8.7 million at the end of March 2015. Much of this funding increase is due to increases to the Aboriginal Healing and Wellness Strategy, which supports the community wellness worker, Métis Healthy Babies, Healthy Children, and mental health programs. During the 2014-2015 fiscal year, MNO Healing and Wellness programs reached large numbers of clients. The Community Wellness Workers Program provided over 7,000 services. The Community Action Program for Children engaged over 4,000 community participants in its programs. The Canada Prenatal Nutrition Program reached 90 families and 876 individuals. The Community Support Services Program provided over 49,000 services such as medical transportation, friendly visits, caregiver support, and community support. The MNO Education and Training Branch offers a full range of skills development, employment, and educational initiatives to Métis people across Ontario. In 2014-2015, the MNO Bursary Endowment Fund, with 41 post-secondary institutions, totaled nearly $4 million, and the MNO signed bursary agreements with 5 new post-secondary institutions in 2014. During 2014-2015, 179 Métis students were awarded bursaries totaling over $120,000. In 2015, the MNO and Cambrian College signed a Memorandum of Understanding outlining areas for future cooperation. This was the 12th such agreement the MNO has signed with a post-secondary institution. Through agreements with Aboriginal Skills and Employment Training Strategy, the Service Canada Strategic Partnership Fund, and the Ministries of Education, Training, Colleges and Universities, Aboriginal Affairs and Economic Development, and Employment Infrastructure, the MNO provides a full range of culturally appropriate services that include career counseling, employment readiness training, wage subsidies, apprenticeship support, and mobility assistance. The MNO is also able to offer several specialized programs that provide training to Métis and help them advance their careers. These include the Summer Youth Cultural Program, the Métis Mining Strategy, and the Navigating Employment Pathways Youth Project. The MNO Lands, Resources and Consultations Branch provides the technical expertise and support required for the full engagement of MNO citizens in a wide range of issues concerning activities in the MNO traditional territories. With expertise in Métis rights and the Métis way of life, environmental assessments, public policies and regulations, MNO staff provide critical support to Métis communities across Ontario that ensure the Crown's legal duty to consult and accommodate are met. The MNO continues to see great success in engaging proponents. In November 2014, the MNO and New Gold signed a participation agreement on the development of the Rainy River Mine. The number of notices received from proponents continued to increase over the past years. This year's total of over 5,000 notices represents a 2,800% increase over 2008-2009. Through its community relations team, the MNO continues to work to improve relationships and governance within the MNO. One of the key ways this is accomplished is through governance and finance training workshops that were offered to 12 community councils throughout Ontario during the 2014-2015 fiscal year. Infinity Property Services, an agency of the MNO, operates under fee-for-service contract agreements to provide property management and program administration on behalf of federal, provincial, and municipal governments. Infinity Property Services is self-sustaining through result-based contracts payable to the MNO for work performed. All profits from revenues generated are reinvested into the MNO Secretariat. The MNO manages 517 rental units and 34 homeowner unit subsidies. This generated over $700,000 from the MNO in 2014-2015 and provided affordable housing for 551 families, singles, and seniors. The MNO Registry branch works with and within the national definition of Métis to research, publish, and promote the genealogical documentation of the Métis. Improved processes and procedures at the MNO Registry allowed the registry to issue over 1,200 citizenship cards in the past year. This represents an increase of 302% compared to 2010-2011. The registry has reduced the wait time for primary assessment to approximately 2 months, compared to 5 months in the previous year. In 2014, the MNO introduced new harvester certificates. The Intergovernmental Relations Branch facilitates meetings and acts as a staff liaison for the MNO leadership with various government and industry agencies. It also obtains funding for the MNO Secretariat and other MNO branches for various programs and services. Some of the initiatives supported by the branch include the MNO Ontario Framework Agreement, research initiatives, and the Pan Am and Para-Pan Am Games Aboriginal Leadership Partners. The branch also plays a key role in the annual provincial Louis Riel Day ceremony at Queen's Park and the MNO's annual General Assembly. MNO Finance, Communications, Information and Communications Technology, and Human Resources provides specialized knowledge, best practices, and technology that provide services required to maintain the smooth and efficient operation of the MNO. Significant improvements have been made in all of these areas in the last fiscal year, which have improved the MNO's ability to keep its citizens well informed, as well as increase fiscal and employee capacity and transparency. The strength of our society is based on democracy, freedom, fairness, equality, generosity, justice, and the customary and written law of our people. Above all, we cherish harmony and peace.